In this video, we will briefly cover the relationship between being overweight and chronic back pain. Before we get started, do yourself and myself a favor and subscribe to this channel because you're going to find a lot of resources on chronic back pain that you won't see anywhere else. The reason for this is because I discovered a lot of these methods myself because I struggled for 10 years with chronic back pain. But the good news is I've been 2 years back pain free completely. I know the way out and I can show it to you, so subscribe to this channel. Now, first of all, obviously, the more weight you have to carry, the more weight your spine has to carry. There's more pressure on your discs, on your joints, on your spine, on your vertebrae, on everything. Literally every tissue, every muscle, every fiber in your body has more work to do. This means it gets tired sooner, and this means that you're going to be in pain more often. But even more important than this probably is that being overweight and being obese especially is essentially a new thing. Evolutionarily speaking, like, people have never been overweight. Throughout the entire history of humanity, being overweight has been, it's essentially an alarming state for your body. Like, your body is really confused when it has all of this like body fat that doesn't know what to do with it. Body fat is a mechanism to store energy so that we can essentially survive longer periods of time without food. But chances are human beings have rarely, very rarely been above 25-30% body fat. And it's not even like they haven't had the opportunity for that. Human beings have lived in times of abundance, in times of caloric abundance. But if you switch to a more natural way of eating, you're going to discover that being overweight is actually a lot difficult. If you eat raw foods, clean, natural foods, and you don't eat the junk food, the processed foods, all of these like hyper palatable foods that simply cause these like cravings and pretty much even addictions, I would say at this point. If you eliminate those foods and you just eat like vegetable, fruit, eggs, meat, only the natural foods that humans have eaten for hundreds of thousands of years, you're going to discover that it's really difficult to actually be overweight. You just cannot eat enough calories to become extremely overweight. And for that reason, the human body is not really accustomed to being overweight. It just doesn't know what to do with all of this like extra weight. It's essentially kind of like confused. And the more overweight you are, the more difficult everything it is in your body. And that also includes getting rid of all of these toxic metabolic byproducts, inflammation, free radicals, all of the like chemicals and pesticides we ingest on a daily basis. That's also a lot more difficult for the body. And that results in increased levels of inflammation. And as you may probably know, inflammation has a really close relationship with pretty much every chronic pain, but especially with chronic back pain. When you're overweight, essentially your inflammation levels are kind of like permanently increased. Your body is struggling with pretty much everything all of the time. Everything is more difficult. Your immune system is working less efficiently, your digestion, even like your brain, your focus, your nervous system, everything is paying a penalty essentially. And when you're overweight, and let's say you have like a regular meal, you're gonna notice that your body is it's really like less effective at digesting the food. In a way, you're already at a capacity, so that's why your metabolism is only gonna get slower and slower. Now, if you're overweight and you're struggling with back pain, typically you're going to find that losing the weight also drops the back pain. This is almost always the case. Of course, skinny people can also have back pain, but if you're both overweight and have back pain, it's probably impossible to completely get rid of the back pain without losing at least a little bit of weight, at least without getting into like some healthy body fat percentage levels. A very simple tool and strategy that you can start applying today that's going to be extremely beneficial for you is to simply start taking notes and measurements of the pain you're feeling. I recommend taking one measurement in the morning after you wake up, one measurement before you go to bed at night, and maybe even one more measurement as a sort of like the maximum pain level for that day. Maybe you can even take pain measurements before and after meals so that you're going to discover which foods may actually be causing an increase in indigestion and inflammation and back pain as well. But then just start noting the pain levels and just like do me a favor, just lose a little bit of weight. I'm talking like really small amount of weight that you can lose in maybe 2 weeks of kind of like disciplined dieting. So just like 1 or 2 weeks where you lose like 3, maybe 5 pounds, and you're gonna see immediately how the back pain levels drop. Like, that's all you have to do. just lose a little bit of weight and see how it reflects on your chronic back pain levels. I promise you that you're gonna see a lot of benefits here. Losing weight is always goes hand in hand with reducing chronic back pain. I talk about the relationship between back pain and being overweight and a lot of my other resources. I have a free book. There's a link to it in the pinned comment or description. Definitely check it out. You're gonna learn a lot from it. It's completely free, so you really have no justification not to do it. Also, the next video that's gonna appear above me is gonna continue in this avenue, and you're gonna keep learning about nutrition, back pain, chronic issues, and how to essentially craft a perfect plan that's gonna fit your needs and your life. I will see you in the next video, and until then, be brave.